What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another trade sim video. We got a blockbuster today. Noah Dobson being traded from the New York Islanders to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for Emil Heineman, as well as the 16th and 17th overall picks in this year's draft. And those two first-round picks are, of course, the Montreal Canadiens pick, which was actually 17. They made the playoffs. And then the Flames pick, which was 16, the best team to not. Now, it kind of works out well. In-game here, Montreal's a conservative seller. If you look at the Flames, they're a conservative buyer. So those two first-round picks should each have, mid-first-round value. And again, with those two picks, they also get Heineman here. In-game, medium top 6 potential, 80 overall at 22 years old. This is like the first year he was really in the NHL much. Had like 18 points, I think. He probably projects to be a middle 6 winger, I would say. I don't think he's anything too special, no offense to him. Me personally, I would much rather have Dobson than Heineman and a couple lottery picks, especially when, they're two mid-first rounders. As you guys can see here, Dobson in-game, elite potential, of course. 88 overall at 24. He's making $4 million for one more year. Of course, he did get signed and traded. Big contract as well. $9.5 million for the next 8 years. As you can see here in-game, he was asking for 8.8. So I feel like he'll definitely say yes to 9.5. We're literally giving him $700K raise. And because the trade is so recent, the official call hasn't even gone in yet. We don't know if there are any clauses. So for this, we won't add any. I think he still will say yes. And as you'd expect, guys, Dobson did say yes to that contract. So now we'll try the trade with the extension in place. And look at the trade value bar here. I don't think it affected it at all, which is good. And so now we'll see what Montreal says this trade. In game, the value is actually way on their side. And I think that's just because the first round picks are honestly sometimes way overvalued. Like, I think in real life, most people would agree, Montreal won this one getting Dobson for two mid-first rounders. But I will say one thing that's probably helping them too is I think the game thinks both these first rounders are actually going to be closer to top 10s than, mid-first round picks. And at that point, you have a chance for first overall. So it's definitely helping them out. Nothing we can really do about it. Heineman there as well. They still might say yes because they want Dobson. Okay, no, trade is rejected. So you know what? To give us, I think, a bit of a more fair trade, because they are, mid-first round picks, we should be looking at like 2 future firsts when the team might be a little bit better. So we'll try 20 and 29 first here instead. And trade is still rejected. Okay. And now after that trade, here's what the Islanders team might look like for next season. I've still got Lee, Horvat, and Barzal in that first line. Second here, you got Holmstrom. Cal Ritchie, I think, will probably make the team, as well as Siplikov. I know the T is silent now. Heineman there got on the third line, playing with Pajot, who also could be gone if he is. Maybe James Hagens comes in at that 3C spot. I know Islanders fans hoping they can move up in the draft with these picks to get him. You got Palmieri there, of course. Duclair, Cizikas, Engvall. Like, I don't know, fourth liner. You probably don't want Duclair there, but I don't really know who you take out. Does Heineman go down to the fourth line? I feel like they probably want more than that from him if he's one of the pieces back in this Dobson trade. Of course, defensively, right now, you got Pelech, Polak, Mayfield, Romanov as your top 4, but add Matthew Schaefer into that. You got Perunovic there. I don't think D'Angelo's coming back, but you never know. And then, of course, goaltending, best player on the team, Ilya Sorokin, Varlamov backing him up. So this trade, like I said, it had me scratching my head a little bit. I don't really know. If I looked into the first overall pick, got Matthew Schaefer, I'd probably want my 25-year-old offensive defenseman who had 70 points last year, averages 50 plus. And this year, guys, only 3 defensemen put up over 70 points, so it's not like it's an easy thing to do. I know a lot of people said not that great defensively, but right here you can see some analytics from JFresh. He actually had his best defensive season this year. Obviously down year offensively, but he wasn't that bad. For sure, he's not the most physical guy, but like a right-handed defenseman who puts up points is in their prime. I feel like, him and Schaefer could have been a really nice pairing for the Islanders for the next decade. Obviously, they decided to go another way. They didn't think he was worth the money. But I personally think when we're looking back on this trade, we're going to be really surprised that's all Montreal had to give up. Speaking of which, let's see what the Islanders say when we try this trade from Montreal's perspective. And now look at the Islanders here, guys. You can see no surprise, Noah Dobson not on the block. And now for the trade offer, guys, rather than using the Montreal and Flames picks, because I think both of them are probably a bit too high value. Like you can see the Panthers pick there, who's supposed to be a playoff team. We're going to try and balance it out. We'll go Florida and Montreal. Maybe those two combined is closer to, 2 mid-first rounders. Obviously, if they say no, we'll then include the Flames pick. Heineman there they actually do like, so we'll try this first just to kind of get a better idea, and if they say no, we'll improve the offer, but the value still is on our side. I like Heineman. What do the Islanders say? Trades rejected, and they said quite far off. Okay, so the Florida pick is projected to be late. In-game here, they have Montreal as a conservative seller, so again, that is, a top 15 pick, but maybe they think it's closer to, 7 than it is to 15. Then you had the Flames one in there again. I think they're kind of in the same boat. The game probably thinks it'll be, more of a top 10 than top 15 pick. At this point, the Islanders do say yes. Okay, so it's tough to use the draft picks. I think they are saying yes because they think they're getting 2 top 10s opposed to 2 top 15s, but regardless, those were the picks that were traded. and in-game EA thinks that the Islanders won this trade. And I should point out too, guys, right now in Tankathon, they have the Islanders projected to take Logan Hensler with the 16th pick and Justin Carbonneau there with the 17th pick. So you could look at the trade as those two guys plus Heineman for Noah Dobson. And still, I don't think it's enough. I feel like Dobson's, without a doubt, like the most valuable piece in that trade. If I'm the Islanders, I want something a bit better, you know, coming back, because all three of those guys could end up being decent NHLers, but nowhere near, you know, as good as Dobson, who has had, you know, an elite season as a defenseman, right-handed. It just doesn't seem like enough. And now look at the Habs lines after this trade, guys. I got to point out one thing. On cap wages right now, they've got less than 100K in cap space. I think that includes the Carey Price contract, though, so I think they're, you know, still able to add if they need to. Right now, we got Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slavkovsky on that first line, which is pretty solid. Demidov, of course, in that top 6. Really excited to see how he does in his rookie year next season. Doc, hopefully back healthy. Patrick Laine, maybe playing with Demidov, a solid playmaker, could have him scoring, you know, a ton again. Newhook on the third line there with Evans, Anderson. Got Gallagher on the fourth line, Dvorak, and Kapanen. Again, this is kind of my best guess. Defensively, I actually really don't know. Right now, I got Matheson, Dobson, top pair. Gooley playing the right side with Hudson. Then we got Jack on the bottom with Carrier. Obviously, they could go, you know, Hudson, Dobson if they want to. Maybe they split them up. I did see some people saying how, you know, Dobson's point production will probably go down with the Habs because they'll be playing the second power play with Hudson on the first. But I think some people are forgetting the Habs play style is a lot more offensive, whereas the Islanders is a lot more defensive. And Dobson still put up 70 points with them last year, close to point per game. So even getting a little bit less power play time, I think he'll do fine. Also, too, they could always just kind of run this as their top power play, Dobson and Hudson, both on the back end. You got Slavkovsky, Caulfield, Suzuki, and then that just kind of takes the pressure off Demidov in his rookie year. Have him on the second power play there, feeding the puck to Laine. Matheson could be, you know, your quarterback there. I think the Montreal Canadiens have a lot of options now. Very exciting times for them. Obviously, goaltending there, Montembeault as well as Dobesh in net. And finally here, guys, like your first look at Noah Dobson as a member of the Montreal Canadiens. I didn't even realize he's actually tied with Suzuki now. Highest rated player on the team. I gotta say too, I put out a tweet. I wish, you know, my GM Steve Yzerman be making trades like this for Dobson, or even the trade Utah made for JJ Peterka, guys in their prime that you can really grow your core with. So where you guys can see Noah Dobson went to Montreal Canadiens. I'm actually curious if Dobson might have been a Habs fan growing up, as he's from PEI, and most of the guys, you know, from the Maritimes cheer for the Habs just because they are the closest NHL team. I think it's either Montreal or Boston. Either way, guys, like I said, I like this trade for Montreal. Islanders, I'll like it a lot more if they can turn those picks into James Hagens. If not, I do think it's a L for them, but, you know, time will tell if they can make some magic happen. Until then, though, guys, hopefully enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments section which team you think won the trade. Also, if you guys have been watching my Islanders franchise mode, let me know if I should trade Noah Dobson now that he's moved in real life. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.